Welcome to the BrainyX channel. In the previous video, I introduced you to solving quadratic equations, and we worked through these 4 basic examples where I showed you which steps to follow. I encourage you to watch that video if you are not yet familiar with solving these types of equations. You can find the link on the card in the top right corner and in the description below. In this video, we are going to solve these 3 quadratic equations that require a little more work before we can factorize them. Let's start with the first example. For our first example, we have to solve for x. Now immediately I see that we are dealing with a fraction here. And the easiest way to undo a fraction is to multiply by its denominator. Therefore, I'm going to write 3 times by, and then this whole factor. And what I do on the one side, I have to do on the other side. Now take note that this 3 is also the same as 3 over 1. Now it is easier for you to see that we can actually cancel the 3's. You may also ask me, but why am I not cancelling the 1's? Even if you are cancelling the 1's, you will still end up with 1. So what we are going to write next is 1x multiplied by x minus 4 equals, and 4 times 3 is 12. Now you might ask me, if I'm multiplying by a third, why aren't we using the inverse operation? Meaning, why am I not dividing by a third, and what I do on the one side, I do on the other side? Yes, you may do that. Let me show you. Because I'm multiplying, I can divide by a third. And what we do on the one side, I have to do on the other side. That will give me x minus 4 equals 4 divided by a third. So since we are dividing, that means we are multiplying by its reciprocal. So it will look like this. When we multiply, we swap the fractions. And in the end, we end up with exactly the same thing. So it doesn't matter which method you use. If you do it correctly, you will end up with the same equation. By multiplying the denominator was just an easier or a quicker way to get to this step. We still have a bracket in this equation. That means I have to distribute this x into the bracket. X times x is x squared, and x times negative 4 is negative 4x equals 12. Have a look at what we've got now. We've got an x squared. That means this is a quadratic equation. The first step in solving a quadratic equation is to move all your terms to the one side of the equation so that your equation equals 0. Therefore, I'm going to subtract this positive 12 on this side, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. That leaves us with x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0, because plus 12 minus 12 equals 0. Now for step 2, we have to factorize. So we have to decide what factorizing method we are going to use. We cannot take out a common factor. It's not a difference of squares, so I'm going to use the trinomial method. This is a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 1. That means it is quite easy to factorize. What we're going to do is to draw 2 brackets. And I know we are dealing with x variables, so I'm going to add an x to each of these brackets. Now what we need to do is to find 2 numbers that when we multiply them will give us negative 12, and when we add those 2 numbers will give us negative 4. So first up, I'm going to find 2 numbers that will multiply to 12. I'm ignoring the negative sign for now. It will be these. And now let's see which of these number pairs will give me negative 4 when I add or subtract. Definitely not this one. Yeah, I can do negative 6 plus 2 will give me negative 4. And not this one either. Let's do the final test. Positive 2 times negative 6 will give me negative 12. So I've got my number pair. So we've got plus 2 and negative 6. Can you see that this side now only has factors? That means I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. So we have x plus 2 equal to 0, or we have x minus 6 equal to 0. All we have to do now is to solve each of these equations. For x plus 2, I have to do the inverse operation, so the opposite of plus 2 will be minus 2. That means x is equal to negative 2, because if I subtract 2 on this side, I have to subtract 2 on the other side as well. And for x minus 6, the inverse operation will be plus 6. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. And that is your final answer. X equals negative 2, or x equal to 6. For example 2, we also have a fraction, but this time we have a variable in the denominator. Now in the previous example, I said to you that the easiest way to get rid of a fraction in an equation is to multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by x. Now if I say x or x over 1, it is exactly the same thing. And now the other important thing is, whatever you do to the one term, you have to do to all terms, or what you do on the one side of the equation, you have to do on the other side. So I have to multiply this term by x, and I have to multiply this term on this side of the equation by x as well. Let's rewrite this equation. I'm going to multiply this x by 3x, and that gives us 3x squared. And in this term, I'm multiplying two fractions. That means I'm allowed to cross-cancel. And that leaves us with 2. And equal to 5 times x is 5x. Can you see we have a quadratic equation? That means I have to move everything to the one side so that I can make this equation equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 5x on this side, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So let's rewrite this. 3x squared minus 2 minus 5x equal to 0. Now it's very important that when you solve quadratic equations that you write it in descending powers of x or descending powers of your variable. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equal to 0. And you might ask me, what do you mean by descending powers of x? Let me show you. Here it is x squared. Here it is x to the power of 1, and here it's x to the power of 0, and x to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, now that everything is on the one side, and my whole equation is equal to 0, I have to factorize this. So you have to decide which method you're going to use. And immediately I can see that we are working with a trinomial. I cannot take out a highest common factor. It's not a difference of squares, so I'm going to factorize it using the trinomial method. Because the leading coefficient is not 1, in fact it is 3, I'm going to make use of the AC method to factorize this trinomial. I'll show you the steps briefly, but our main focus here is solving the quadratic equation. You can find the full AC method lesson in the description below. The AC method says we have to multiply a by c. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So what we need to do is to find two numbers. When multiplied will give me negative 6. And when I add them, give me this coefficient of my middle term. So first up, I'm going to ignore this negative sign for now, and I'm going to find two numbers that multiply to 6. So that is 1 times 6, and 2 times 3, and that is it. Now I'm going to check these number pairs to see which will add or subtract to negative 5. Here I have negative 6 plus 1 will give me negative 5, and negative 2 and negative 3 will also give me negative 5. And now the final test is to multiply these number pairs. So it's positive 1 times negative 6. Yes, it does give me negative 6. And negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So it's not this number pair. Now my next step is to replace this middle term with these two numbers. So we are going to rewrite 3x squared. Then we have to decide which one of these two numbers will fit best with the 3x squared. And I'm deciding on the negative 6. But because I'm replacing this middle term, it has an x. So I'm writing x here. Next, we still have to add this positive 1x, and I still need to copy this negative 2. Note that we did not change the equation. Negative 6x plus 1x gives us negative 5x. Now I'm going to use the grouping method. So I'm going to treat this as a group and this as a group. In the first group, I'm going to take out 3x as a common factor. So what is left? X minus 2. How did I get that? 3x squared divided by 3x. The 3's cancel. If I cancel this x, I'm left with one of the x's. And negative 6x divided by 3x, the x's cancel, and 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. Okay, now let's have a look at this group. I'm going to take out positive 1. What is left? X minus 2. How did I get that? Positive 1x divided by 1 is x. And negative 2 divided by positive 1 is negative 2. And that equal to 0. Now we end up with two terms. This term and this term. Can you see that we have a common bracket in each of these terms? So I'm going to take out the x minus 2 as a common factor. So x minus 2. And let's see what is left over. If I take this whole term and I divide it by my common factor, what is left over? 3x. Okay, and in this term, if I divide this whole term by my common factor, all that is left is positive 1 equal to 0. All right, now we have only factors left on this side of the equation. That means I can set each of these factors equal to 0. Let's do it on this side. So I can write x minus 2 equal to 0, or 3x plus 1 equal to 0. And now all we need to do is to solve these equations. X minus 2 is equal to 2. Because I add 2 on this side, you have to add 2 on that side. And here, 3x equal to negative 1. Now this x is multiplied by 3, so I have to divide by 3. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. And that gives us x equal to negative a third. And that is your final answer. In the final example for this video, I can see we are also dealing with a quadratic equation because the highest power of my variable is 2. I can also see that step 1 is done because everything is written on the one side of the equation and the whole equation is equal to 0. So we have to factorize this part of the equation. Now in the previous video, I said that when we factorize, we normally use the common factor method, the difference of squares or trinomials. But sometimes we need to use another method. And because we have 4 terms on the left-hand side, we are going to make use of the grouping method. Now, 95% of the time, whenever you have to factorize by grouping, the first 2 terms will form a group and the last 2 terms will form a group. So let's see if that works out. I'm going to group the first 2 terms together, and then let's do the last 2 terms. Now, have a look at these last 2 terms. Here I can take out a common factor, which is negative b, and then let's see what is left over. Negative bx divided by negative b will give me positive x. And positive 3b divided by negative b gives us negative 3. Okay, equal to 0. So we still have 2 terms left on this side, this term and this term. And because I'm not allowed to set the terms equal to 0, only factors equal to 0, I still need to do some work. Have a look at this term. Can you see that I can factorize this even further? Yes, I'm going to use the difference of squares method. I'm going to write 2 brackets. I'm dealing with x variable, and the one bracket gets a plus sign and the other bracket a minus sign. Now we need to find the square root of 9, and that is 3. So I fill out the rest of the bracket with 3. And now let's copy the rest of the equation down. So we still have 2 terms on the left-hand side, this term and this term. But what do you notice now? Yes, we have a common bracket in each of these terms. That means I can take out x minus 3 as my common factor. And then open a bracket and let's see what is left over. So we take our first term and we divide it by the common factor. That means I can cancel these 2 factors and that leaves us with x plus 3. And I'm going to write it in brackets. And now I'm going to take this whole term and I'm going to divide it by my common factor. Again, I'm going to cancel these 2. That means we only have negative b that is left over. So I can actually write it with square brackets. Now let's rewrite this. We've got x minus 3, and now let's just remove the rounded brackets. So we've got x plus 3 minus b equal to 0. Now we only have factors left on this side of the equation. That means I can set the factors equal to 0. So I'm going to write x minus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 3 minus b equal to 0. Now let's solve each of these equations. Now x minus 3 equal to 0. I have to add 3 on this side, and on that side, that gives me x equal to 3. And on this side, I have to move the positive 3 and the negative b to the other side. So I have to subtract 3 on this side and add b. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. That gives us x equal to negative 3 plus b. I'm just going to rewrite it so that we do not start with a negative, b minus 3. And that is your final answer.